You already know. Don't give me no Bama weed, baby. Another one. Black Weed. Let's get it. Straight up to LA to the world. Legends. Legendary interview. Don't give me no Bama weed, homie. You already know. Homies coming in right. What's up, boys of the streets? What up, bro? What up? Oh, I'm interviewing you soon, girl. In the SLC, don't give me no Bama weed. You don't smoke that shit. In the SLC, don't give me no Bama weed. In the SLC, don't give me no Bama joy. It's the Black Sea. Perfect timing.
What's up with you, baby?
What's up, brother?
Man, just chilling, you know.
Man, I appreciate you for stopping by real quick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Take these blessings. That's
Much
right.
love.
My ancestors right there, brother.
Yes, yes.
Hey, so please ask quick questions. We got a little bit of time. We're just gonna get right into it, brother. So I really appreciate you stopping by, man. You know, for me, I just want to say something real quick. Is growing up, I'm 38 years old. You feel me? So growing up in the 90s and doing what I did in the streets, you motivated us to have higher standards to the weed we were selling, to the weed we were smoking, and to the lifestyle we were living. And so I just wanted to appreciate you, you know, for all my homeboys from my neighborhood. And my neighborhood is Barrio South Park. You know what I mean? The South Park, and shout out to all the neighborhoods in Santa Rosa, but especially my neighborhood, South Park, who we bump your music every day, bro.
Man, appreciate that, man. You know what I mean? All the love and support, man. That's what keep me motivated, you know?
Yeah.
That torch lit, man.
Exactly. Well, that's how I wanted to ask you. My first question is, why did you decide to change it from the song No Bama Weed, where you first you had it as Hunter's Point, and then you changed it to SFC. Why'd you do that?
To brag, really, it was you know, that was during the time when you know, we was kind of funking with Fillmore, Sunnydale. You know, I'm from Hunters Point, of course, and I could have put it out as, you know, we don't smoke, don't give me no Bama joint, we don't smoke that shit in Hunters Point. I could have put it out like that, but then I felt like it would only stay local. It would have been a Hunters Point thing, you know what I mean? It would have been one of those little fly-by-night type things. So what I decided to do was like, man, incorporate the whole city. I was like, you know, man, we got to have Frisco involved, man. So that's why I ended up changing it to don't give me no Bama weed. We don't smoke that shit in the SFC. It was all about a unity thing at the time, you know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, we gotta bring the city together. We gotta bring Fillmore in, Sunnydale in, you know what I mean? And Lakeview, all, you know, we was already tied to them. But the key was trying to get Sunnydale and Fillmore involved, you know what I mean, in our project, making sure they was gonna support it. Because without them, it wasn't really gonna lead the city like that, you know.
For sure, man. I was, you know, checking out some stuff, and because while I listened to all your music, I didn't know your full story. You feel me? And I heard there's a brother named Budweiser.
Budweiser, yeah, Budweiser. That's my guy. He the one that actually got me started in music. He the one was the key to me going to go get my studio equipment. You know what I mean? I wasn't even trying to buy new equipment, man. I got out of this juvenile facility called Log Cabin Ranch. It's like a year program. I had just got out of juvenile and was just trying to figure out something to do. A couple of my homies was going to jail, like my best friends who I rolled with every day. One of them was in YA, two of them was in the penitentiary. So I was kind of just by myself, kind of like, you know, I still had dudes in my neighborhood like Budweiser and them, but as far as the guys who I rolled with every day, you know what I mean, they was gone. So I ended up, Budweiser told me to invest into his career, go buy some equipment, you know, and I had a few dollars at the time. I was a youngster, had a couple thousand. I decided to go to the pawn shop. He showed me everything to get, like, man, you know, buy this, buy that. And I did that, and we was making music in a couple days, you know, and yeah, that led to me starting to record myself. But so I give all that love and praise to Budweiser. Without him, it wouldn't be no Black Sea, no RBL. You know what I mean? I would have been back out there with a sack, you know, trying to move some crack, to be honest with you.
Exactly, and shout out to Thizzler for that interview because I got to understand that little part from there, you know. And so that's why I think these are important, bro, because there's such a big story to that people aren't getting, you know. I want to make sure that everybody gets that. Hey, I wanted to ask you because, like, for me, I got into photography and into radio, not because I not necessarily like that was my shit, but nobody else was doing it. So I felt like you were like the guy, you, like the man behind the music, right? But then
Uh,
you just decided to, what made you just decide to go forward? Because I decided to go forward too because I was tired of waiting for people.
you talking about as far as doing the music?
Yep.
Um, Really, it was just motivation from dudes in my neighborhood. You know, I had put out this song called "What About My Niggas," where I'm naming everybody in my neighborhood,
Roll
and
call.
and I was just dabbling with it. You know what I mean? And I was just naming everybody in the hood, and I kind of got that concept from. I remember hearing Too Short saying, you know, you name dudes, putting dudes' names in the songs, they gonna play it. So you put a bunch of popular dudes' names in the song, they gonna roll around playing it, making sure everybody hear it because you gave them a shout out. And I made this song just talking about all my niggas in the hood. You know what I mean? Just all my homies, just mentioning their names and saying something positive about them. You know what I mean? Pretty much putting them on a pedestal or whatnot. And it took off. And there was a few dudes in my neighborhood, a few OGs was like, bruh, you got it. Your voice, you got a voice on you. Man, you need to utilize that and actually take this music serious. And I did that. You know what I mean? I was really behind Budweiser, my brother Dre Hype, and this dude named T Lo who Herm Lewis ended up putting out, you know, on Black Power. I was behind them, and really T Lo is the real motivation for me even rapping. You know what I mean? I was trying to rap like him and shit. You know what I mean? Sounding like him when I first came out. When I first my first actual couple songs I did, I was actually using his style of rap, and end up getting my own style up out of it.
For sure, man. So this is another thing. I always relate things back to myself. So when I was banging in my neighborhood, homie, I was always somebody that would dress a little different. I was a little more flamboyant. I've always not kind of been afraid to be myself, you know. And I was wondering why were you open and what made you? I was watching the interview. What made you listen to Wu-Tang? And it seems like Wu-Tang had a little bit of influence in your life, or did it?
Well, I kind of listened. I think we kind of came out a little before Wu Tang, people like them. We was like out about a year or so before them, but
Or at
I
least they
did.
influenced your music, right? Because I
Yeah,
think you
he
said something
influenced.
about that.
Well, Wu Tang influenced Bluebird. That Bluebird
Oh, okay,
song.
that's what it was.
Yeah, the Bluebird song. I actually got that from that uh, uh, that song where could it all be so simple? They had that little sample, and it was the little bass line up in there. And what I did was I took it and just reflipped it. You know what I mean? I just kind of reflipped it because that was one of my favorite Wu Tang songs. So I just kind of flipped it, kind of gave it a West Coast feel, and used the old school high go seek little chorus. You know, everybody used to be like, we play high go seek, but there's a bluebird on my shoulder, can I kill it? And you keep saying it till all the kids stop saying, you know, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? So that's how that came about. But they definitely was an influence on that song as far as me producing Bluebird. You know, I got the idea from them, but yeah, my musical influences is totally different. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
For Wu-Tang. Yeah.
For sure. And did you know you were gonna have a big influence in the Raza community, the Latino community? Because my whole hood was predominantly Latino, bro. Like 95% Latino, or like 90% Latino, 10% Black, or something like that. And
Nah, I
you
didn't
were,
even know.
yeah.
I didn't know what type of fans I was gonna have when I first started doing music. To be honest with you, I was just happy to have any. You know, I was just happy, like, man, as long as I get somebody, you know, it's good. But it's crazy, though, because now I say since Mr. C passing and me putting out the iPhone I album, it was
Rest
like
in peace.
it was like it's just like was just I don't know. It's like it just starts switching from us just having like a mixed crowd at our shows to just predominantly like Mexican, Latino, just switched up now. Like everywhere we go now, it's like they the ones keeping the torch lit for us. Man, I love the Latin community, man. They fuck with us heavy. I'm talking about heavy. All our shows, I would say, to 60 to 70% damn near dominant. younger generation. That's one thing I do love about them. Like they show the youngsters like, man, hey, RBL, you know, they put them, because I see a lot of younger Latinos who really be like, man, you know, my uncle, my brother, he put me up on, he used to be out playing in his lowrider or rolling
Hell
around,
yeah.
you know, hustling, and that's all, he gang banging to your music, and I love that, you know what I mean, that we got that type of support. You know, in the black community, not so much. A lot of them kind of like, be like, you know, they ain't thought they feel like I ain't put out no music since maybe the iPhone I album in '97. It's different in the Latin community, man. They really fucks with us heavy, man, and I appreciate it so much, because even I notice even too when I'm shipping out a lot of my packages for a lot of my merchandise, I notice the names. You know what I mean? It's, man, they support, they buying up all the product.
You got a lot of
God,
Hernandez,
all my Bluebird
Sanchez.
tees, my No Bammer tees, man, they love us. You know what I mean? So they passing it down to their younger generation, and that's what's helping me stay relevant and keeping the torch lit for me, man. I appreciate the Latinos, man, for real. Love
Yeah,
it
that's what I
to
was gonna
death.
ask you, because it seems like you always been an entrepreneur, even from the streets. Because that's kind of what I was. I was an entrepreneur. I saved some money and I helped, and with a little help, I moved myself out to go to college, bro, on my own dime, kind of with a little bit of help of the family. But how do you stay relevant? You know, because you're out here still. You just got it. You're doing the Vlad interview. You feel me? And like, and rest in peace to everybody. You know, especially in my. I also have rest in peace too. And but we're still here. You know, what do you
Right,
attribute you still being here? That term, still here. You feel me?
right. Still here, man. I did it, man. Really, you know, Mr. C and Hitman is the motivation. You
Yep.
know, it was hard, man, trying to just figure out how I'm gonna do it without them. You know what I mean? And it just goes back to the fans. They were still coming out and support, and was like, you know, we here for you. And you know, from there, I just started doing licensing deals, you know, different stuff, things like that. You know, working with different like even skateboard companies and skateboarders, that community, man, they
Hell
fuck with
yeah.
us heavy. You know what I mean? From
Hell yeah.
FTC to Thrasher, I mean Quartet skateboards, man, a lot of them, man, they really fuck with us heavy. And you know, I appreciate their support. They the ones that help me stay motivated and want to stay in the studio and, you know, just coming up with different ideas. But you know, the licensing thing too, like I say, that helped me a whole lot as far as keeping our music out there, keeping it in documentaries, keeping it in, you know, movies and stuff like that. So, and in return, you know, like I said, the fans, you know, be in demand, wanting us to come show up. So I pop up, you know, do a lot of my verses from our classics and do some of my new stuff. But the fans and the licensing deals, man, help me stay relevant, man. And just me being a hustler too, you know, I just always
Yeah.
try to figure out a way to make something happen. You know what I mean? To connect the, you know, the No Bammer. You know, I'm in the cannabis community trying to network and make something happen. I'm leaving a meeting right now. You know, just coming from Frisco, trying to make something happen. You know, shout out to Sunset Connect. Shout out to Buddy Indoor Natural. You know,
Shout out.
I got joint ventures going on with both of them. You know, Buddy I've been dealing with for a while. You know, we got our Roofless Runts and our Roofless GMO coming out.
Ooh, I like both of
Yeah,
those
and I'm
strains.
working on this other one, man, that's gonna be real nice that I'm doing with Sunset Connect. You know, they got the Legends line that they got. They just did one with San Quinn. You know,
Yep.
they
Shout
got
out.
It's the Quinn, and yeah, I'm doing something right now with them. You know what I mean? So I'm just leaving the meeting with them, and everything looking lovely. We just finna find that nice flower that we can package up and I can put that stamp on it, and man, we finna push it like an album. And that's one thing about me, man. I push everything like albums, like I would do an album, whether it's T-shirts, whether it's, you know, I got a new book I'm working on, whether it's a cannabis line, I'm gonna push it like I was brought in the game doing it, you know, a whole campaign, and that's what it's about. You know what I mean?
I mean, I just enjoy the hustle, you know, and that's how we grew up. And so it just, for me, I just kept hustling. Like I hustle my photography, I hustle everything I do. Even this is networking. You feel me? We're introducing ourselves
Right,
to each other's audiences without even have to be in person with each other.
right.
Um, and yeah, because bro, I was a hustler in them streets. It's funny that it's all legal now, bro. And you know, what I mean, how much
Yeah,
we had to put on the line. Because now I got my own line, Mali Nali, and Mali Nali means
dope.
Mali Nali in Aztec language means grass, and this is the original. This is the original glyph on the Aztec calendar for grass. So I'm trying to bring like a cultural conversation so
That's
my people
dope.
can start to know who they are and smoke with their ancestors.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Linking that up like that. That's how you do it, though. And push it, you
Exactly.
know,
Hey,
brand it, get it out there, man. You know what I mean? And stay on it. It might not jump overnight. It might not be like, you know, it took Burner a while to get cookies going. Now look at him. He's smooth selling now. You know what I mean? And that's motivation to me. You know what I mean? You just got to push your brand to stay at it. Keep going. Keep going. You know what I mean? So that's the page I'm on right now, man. Just, you know, I got other people who I look at as motivation. You know, like I mentioned, Burner being one of them, man. You know, him being from the city. You can't do nothing but be like, man, shit, sky's the limit. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, I got two more questions for you.
Yes, sir.
One of them is connected to the rest that of course I want to say rest in peace to the homeboys, you know, but I try and stay in the solution, you know, trying to stay positive because it's, you know, hard when we think about our friends all the time. But like, you know, how I got sober, bro. So I blaze, but I don't drink and I don't put nothing up my nose. I used to like to powder my beak a lot, my bro. And you feel me, like, and I like I got through a lot of depression that I had as somebody in the streets. You know, I used to hurt people because I was hurt, and so
Right,
just
right.
wanting to know, like, but now I don't, and I try to like have God's grace and just chill the fuck back and be grateful, homie. So I was just wondering how you got through. Like, I lost my best friend, Matty Matt. He's African American too, from my neighborhood. He's a black Northanian. Shout out, rest in peace, Matty Matt. And how do you how did you get through that deep depression? Because I know there's like light depression, you know, kind of like when you're feeling
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
But I'm talking when you're in that dark place. And for street people or for people of color, a lot of times we don't want to address that. So how did you address it?
Man, family, man. You know, just having solid family, having that solid foundation. You know what I mean? When I lost Mr. C, man, that was like the worst. You know, because not only did I lose a friend, a brother, it was like, man, I lost shit. My career is in limbo now. It's like, shit, what the fuck am I going to do, you know, without, you know, one half of the group? So that hurt. That hurt big time, man. I went into depression, man, for shit. I probably was, man, I don't know, it was a couple months. It took me a couple months to get my mind right, man. And I give a shout out too to my boy, to Craig Callaman at Atlantic Records, man. You know, he hit me up like, bro, this music thing, I know this is you. I know you really want to keep doing this. I know you the man behind the music. You producing all the music, the beats and everything. He like, man, I'm still willing to get you back in the lab and do this deal with you. You know, yeah, the numbers might be a little bit different, but I'm still willing to work with you. So it was stuff like that to where it was like, man, you know, talking to my family, like, you know, you gotta keep his legacy going. You gotta do your thing. You gotta stay in that studio. You gotta keep working. And that was really it, man. You know what I mean? Just having a support, you know, around. If you ain't got nobody, man, I can see why certain people, you know, go mentally be fucked up and want to commit suicide or want to do if you ain't really got that team, man. And I had a good team, you know, my mom and them, man, my brothers and them, my cousin and them, man, and everybody just like, bruh, it's on you. You got to keep that torch lit. You know what I mean? You got to keep Mr. C name alive, and also having Hitman around at the time, you know, rest in peace, Hitman. That made it a little bit easier for him to come in and actually fill a little bit of that void of Mr. C. You know what I mean? Because Mr. C was a lyricist. He, you know, he spit, and he was the one for the girls, for the females, man. So when we lost him, we kind of lost a lot of our female fan base. But Hitman came in and brought it lyrically, though. You know what I mean? To help that side. But you know, we went through our little slump. You know what I mean? Trying to get back, but the fans still fucked with us. We still. So, you know, a lot of our albums still did good after the fact. And it was motivation, you know what I mean? And that's what helped me keep the torch lit now, just thinking back on that. And then also, to the youngsters, man, I got to give it up for my nephew, man, Larry June. And, you know, like AR, H2MG, AR, and them, man, they got me juiced right now. Like, even right now, I started working on a whole nother album. I got an album that's fire right now that
Yeah.
I'm putting together with my book, man. I got a book that I'm about to drop around July, August. I might drop it around our 30-year anniversary towards the end of the year, because next year our 30-year anniversary, and I'm putting together a nice package for the 30-year anniversary thing. But Larry June and them, man, him get me like, Unc, I need you on the album. You know, let's do something. So I did a couple songs with him, and seeing all the young fans just come at me, man,
Yeah.
just like, you know, just woke it up. And then, you know, like I said, my cousin H2MG AR, he worked like consistent. I be trying to slow him up like, bro, you know, focus on this one album. Don't move so fast. But he constantly going, constantly. It motivated me. Like, man, hold on, I need to play catch up. You know what I mean? These dudes ain't slowing up. So all that was motivation. Just having family members, man, and friends who doing their thing, man, and you know, it got me gassed up right now. To put the battery in my back to where I'm in the lab doing my thing now, man. I got gas for him right now. You know what I mean? For
That's
real,
right.
in the pack. And it's finna be on CD. I mean, you know what I mean? On iTunes or whatnot nowadays.
That's right. Well, rest in peace, Mr. C and Hitman, man, for sure. Hey,
Yes,
this is
sir.
the
Rest
last
in
my
peace to
last
the
question,
loved
my
one.
for sure.
Yes,
My
sir.
last question, because I know you busy. We all busy. So my last question though, bro, how was it
Uh-huh.
to be around people again, brother, and perform? You know, because we were at the 420 event. How did it feel? It
Yeah.
felt so good just to be around people, and for me, I was just missed taking pictures and vibing. And how did that
Right.
feel?
Right. Now it felt good, man, to get back out there. You know, this COVID shut shit down. Thank God I have the job I have to where, you know, I was still able to make money. You know, that them digital checks still come through no matter what. You know, licensing deals were still going on. Merchandise was still selling. You know, shows shut down, but money was still coming through to pay the bills. You know what I mean? So, people were streaming more. You in the house more. You ain't out. You ain't out and about. So
Yeah,
the numbers start
and they
rolling in
smoking more
all
too.
last year. You know what I mean? And shout out to Wiz Khalifa too. You know, he helped boost that RBL the No
Oh
Bammer
yeah,
song.
he did a song.
Yeah, he remade
Yeah,
No Bammer,
Bammer,
and
Bammer. Yeah.
yeah, he remade that No Bammer, man, and he took care of us. You know, he was lovely about the business. That happened, and also that put a lot of the youngsters on to RBL who deal with him, and also it helped our people go streaming and looking for his music, and they run it into ours, and so they became new fans. So the RBL, I mean the No Bammer single, man, just I mean it did numbers. You know, it went up. You know, I started seeing them digital checks looking lovely coming in after he released that song. So you know, salute Wiz, you know, and
Shout out. I got to
man,
meet him too, man. He's a
love.
real humble cat. It's always, you never know if they're gonna be how they are, you know, in person till you meet them. And homeboy's humble.
Exactly. Exactly. Now it was lovely, man, and it was crazy because in the beginning I thought he was just taking our shit and wasn't hollering at us. A lot of people was like, you know, our fans was, you know, we got diehard fans. They was going hard on him. How you taking RBL shit and didn't get at Black and this, you know, I didn't really have to say nothing. And yeah, I was trying to get at him too, but at the time I wasn't verified on IG. You know what I mean? I didn't have that blue stick, that blue check. So, you know, he wasn't listening to me when I was hitting him up. But like, bro, we gotta handle the business. But what's so crazy is I went over to the Twitter to go get at him, and he had hit me way before he released it. He had hit me like
Oh, that's
months ago.
dope.
Like, what's up, OG? I'm trying to use the song, and I want you to check it out and get your blessing before I release it. And this had happened months prior to him even releasing the song, man. So I felt so bad. I ended up getting at him on there. He hit me back right away. Like,
Oh,
man,
hell
I'm
yeah.
glad you got at me. Let's handle the paperwork, the business. I'm gonna give you whatever you want, publishing, whatever, this and that. And man, he took care of me, man. He looked out, bro. And I appreciate Wiz, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, people like him keep it, you know, keep it. Even though we got diehard fans like, he fucking up a classic, this and that. But you got to look at it like that's for the new generation. You know what I mean? They always got our song for the, you know, if they want the old school classic shit. That's still out there. You know what I mean? But I don't mind him introducing RBL to the new generation. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah,
all love with me.
that's right. Well, any shout outs, bro?
Yeah, man. Shout outs to you know, my family members, man. You know, shout out to all the rappers I deal with, man, from Larry June, like I said, H2MGAR, you know, Young Shad and them. You know, shout out to Wiz and them, you know what I mean? Shout out to Empire Ghazi and them for making a lot of
Yeah.
things happen and click for me. And you know, man, just be looking out for my new book, man. It's called Part of Survival. I used the title for my last song on my first album. And it's just from the block to the booth, Black Sea, man. You know what I mean? Just talking about everything. You know, a lot of stuff we spoke on, a lot of stuff I done spoke on in interviews, but I go a little more in depth as far as on my relationships with certain people and rappers and everything I've been through, from the gang banging and all that to getting out of it, doing my thing. You know what I mean? Representing this Hunters Point Frisco shit. So, you know, definitely that #1 Hunters Point representative, man. Frisco all day. And you know, it's just me doing my thing, man, just letting people know what's going on. And also check for that new album. You know, I got about 18 songs done right now, all slaps. I got my first single I'm about to drop with Larry June. real soon. That's real dope, called What's Happening. And hopefully we can get that visual in. Man, yeah, just keep checking for me, man. I'm gonna start sliding some snippets out of the album real soon. Probably start damn near next week. Start letting songs come out so people can hear what I'm working on.
Yeah, well, tap in if you need any visuals or photography, but I got you no matter what.
For sure. And yeah, and also too, they need to go to that RBLposse.com and hit that store if they want some of that No Bammer gear or that Bluebird gear. You know, I got to re-up a lot of stuff. It's been selling out, but yeah, I definitely go to that RBLposse.com and click on that store link, and it'll take you straight to the store. You can see what we're working with.
For sure, man. Well, I appreciate you. From my community, it's called South Park, Santa Rosa. I'm also somebody, I lived in 15 years in LA, bro, but I felt like I had to come back to my hood. You know, it's Santa Rosa, it's a North Bay, but, you know, we still wiggle out here. And so I wanted to come, you know, I got to put on for my city. But from my neighborhood to yours, Hunters Point, San Francisco, I appreciate you.
Hey, what it do, what it do, what it do, what it does.
You already know. Don't give me no Bammer weed, baby.
Man, it's called.
For sure. All right, bro.
Them for making a lot of things happen and click for me. And you know, man, just be looking out for my new book, man. It's called Part of Survival. I use the title for my
you already know,
talking about everything, you know, a lot of stuff we spoke on.
You already know.
Don't get click for me. And you know, man, just be looking out for my new book, man. It's called Part. I got my first single I'm about to drop with Larry June real soon. That's real dope, called What's Happening.
You already know.
Interviews, but I go a little more in depth as far as on my relationship.